fm fm time required to empty uniform rectangular tank is proportional to its dash root h. The laminar sublayer acts as an insulating medium. A mouthpiece can't be used for emptying tanks with large heads because cavitation occurs at a vena contract. A gate is an opening in hydraulic structure with a regulation provision. The value of coefficient of velocity for a sharp edge orifice is of the order of 0.98. The value of coefficient of velocity depends upon friction at the orifice surface. The construction of a area for flow through orifice is dash all of the above. In an external mouthpiece, value coefficient of discharge if pipe is flowing full will be dash 1. The horizontal component of force on curved surface is equal to the force on a vertical projection of the curved surface. The vertical component of pressure force on a submerged curved surface is equal to weight of liquid vertically above the curved surface and extending upon free surface. A block of ice floating over a water in a vessel slowly melts in it. The water level in the vessel will remain constant. Manning formula is used to determine head loss due to friction in open channel. A hydraulic radius in the case of open channel with grade width is equal to depth of channel. In open channel corresponding critical depth, the discharge is maximum. The water tank partially filled with water is being carried on a truck moving with a constant horizontal acceleration. The level of liquid will remain same at the both sides of the tank. The discharge over sharp edge rectangular noted of width W depth H is equal to 2 by 3 CD W root of 2Z H of 3 by 2. The discharge through an orifice fitted in a tank is increased by fitting a short length of pipe to the outside. When the depth of water in open channel greater than the critical depth, then flow is said to be tranquil. When the depth of water in open channel is less than the critical depth, then flow is said to be torrential. The hydraulic grade lines is the velocity head below the energy grade line. The rise of liquid along the walls of a revolving cylinder above the initial state in the same as the depression of the liquid at the axis of rotation. When a liquid rotates at a constant angular velocity about a vertical axis, a rigid body varies at the square of the radial distance. Total pressure of the top of closed cylindrical vessel completely filled with a liquid directly proportional to radius of 4. The particles of the fluid attain such velocity that velocity vary from point to point magnitude direction from instant to instant. Flow is said to be dash turbulent flow. The included angle of triangular notch for maximum discharge is 90 degrees. Most efficient channel section is dash half hexagon in the form of trapezoidal. The discharge through a rectangular notch where varies as h of 3 by 2. The discharge over a sharp edge triangle notch having included angle of 2 theta and depth h is given by the formula 8 by 15 CD root of 2g tan of theta h of 5 by 2. The discharge in a solder where varies is proportional to h. The discharge through a semicircular way is proportional to h square. Critical depth meter used to measure discharge in a open channel. If flow in a open channel gradually varied, then the flow will be dash steady non-uniform flow. The width of the weir with the end construction is less than the width of channel. The function of surge tank to relieve the pipeline excessive pressure produced by water hammer. The discharge broadcasted weir is maximum if the head of water on the downstream side weir compared to the head on the upstream side of the weir is 2/3. The cycloid weir function as it if weir following notch without any construction is rectangular notch. Maximum discharge over a broadcaster weir is 1.71 CD LH of 3 by 2. Cycloid notch is designed as a trapezoid with the side floating at one horizontal line is 4 vertical. In series pipe applications, the head loss through each pipe are added to obtain the total head loss. Choking in a pipe flow implies the specified mass flow can't occur. In the case of flow through a parallel pipe, head loss in each pipe is same. For laminar flow, Newton's law of viscosity is important. The most economic section of circular channel for a maximum discharge is obtained when any one of them. The flow is venturimeter takes place at atmospheric pressure. Hydraulic diameter used in place of diameter non-circular dude is equal to 4a by m. Any fluid flow follows the continuity equation. The velocity distribution in the turbulent boundary is the logarithmic flow. Laminar flow occurs in a pipe when Reynolds number is the less than 2000. Which of the following pipe belts introduce maximum head loss is the 90 degrees bend. In pipe larger than the 25 mm carrying water, laminar flow is the rarely exist. The path of jet discharging from the bottom opening a tank full of water will be dash parabola with a vertex the opening. Border's mouthpiece is dash a short cylindrical tube projecting inward having length of 1 by 2 diameter. A hydraulic ram acts like an impulse pump. A hydraulic ram is a device used to lift water without electric motor. The discharge through a simple spillway is equal CD into A into root of 2G root of H. An air vessel proved the summit of symphonis in order to avoid interruption in the flow. A fluid flow taking place continuously around curved path about a fixed axis the rotation is known as a vortex flow. When a liquid rotates at a constant angular velocity about vertical axis of the rigid body, the pressure varies as the square of the radial distance. In a free vortex motion, each particle moves a circular path with a speed varying inversely as the distance from the center. The critical velocity has a velocity above which the flow cases to be streamlined. The rise of liquid along the walls revolving under a cylinder as compared to the depression at the center with respect to initial level is the same. In a forced vortex motion is the rotation of fluid moving a solid takes place about an axis. When fluid flows in a concentric circle, it is known as the free cylindrical vortex flow. In a free vortex motion is the tangential velocity of the water particles proportional to the 1 by r. A right circular cylinder open top filled with a water rotated about its vertical axis at such speed that the half of the liquid spill out to the pressure at a center of bottom is zero. An ideal fluid is the frictional and incompressible. The total pressure on the top of closed cylindrical vessel of radius r filled with a liquid proportional to dash 1 by r square. The general equation contains three-dimensional flow. Compressible fluid steady flow is the dou u by dou x plus dou v by dou y plus dou w by 0. The Reynolds number of the non-circular cross section is the V into 4P by V. In a mouthpiece is running full of the lead, the vacuum created in a when counter the increase in velocity of jet. A vertical distribution of velocity in an open channel for laminar flow can be summed as parabolic. A vertical distribution of velocity in an open channel for turbulent flow can be estimated as logarithmic. The most economical channel section is one for which following the parameters maximum for a given cross-sectional area. This is the discharge. The most economical section is the rectangular channel for maximum discharge is obtained when a depth is equal to half the breadth. One-dimensional flow is which regulates charges in a transverse direction. Euler's equation for the motion of a liquid is based on the assumption that the dash flow is homogeneous and incompressible. Euler's equation is the differential from motion of a liquid is given by dou p by dou plus dou dz plus dou vd equals 0. For an irrotational flow, dou square by dou x square by dou square by dou y square equals 0. The equation is given by Laplace. If UVW is the component of velocity UV moving particles, then equation U by delta x, V by delta y, W by delta represents equation three-dimensional flow. Three-dimensional flow. In case of two-dimensional flow, components of velocity given u is equal to ax, v is equal to b streamline will consist of a series of hyperbolic arcs. In case of two-dimensional flow, the component of velocity given by u is equal to ax, v is equal to b, where the point of their no motion occurs known as the none of the above. For pipe flow at constant head capacity is proportional to pipe dia of 2.5. For pipe flows at constant capacity head of proportional to the 1 by d power of 5. A 10 mm of water column is equal to 100 kN per meter square. A pump speed increases the NPS net positive suction head requirement is the many increases are depending on the other consideration. For pipe flow at constant diameter head is proportional to dash flow square. For pipe flow is constant diameter capacity is proportional to root of head. The pressure in a pipe for fluid flowing is proportional to 1 by d power of 5. Friction factor for a pipe depends on all of this above. In order to replace compound pipe is new, the pipe will be equivalent to when the following are same both pipes is the loss of head flow. The head loss in case of hot water flow through a pipe compared to the cold water flow will be dash less. The frictional resistance of a pipe varies approximately as dash v square. According to Dash's formula, loss a head due to friction in the pipe is dash 4 FL v square by GD. Diameter nozzle D, length of the dielectric coefficient of friction pipe, maximum power transmission or power D should be equal to d power of 5 by 8 FL by 1 by 4. The replace a pipe diameter by parallel pipe's diameter D. The formula used is D equal to D of N by 2 by 5. For a flow to be rotational, the velocity of normal the plane should be equal to the dash twice the angular velocity vector. Head loss in a following fluid experienced due to dash all of the above. Loss of head due to friction in a pipe uniform diameter with viscous flow is equal to 16 by Re. Power transmitted through a pipe maximum when the loss of head due to the friction is dash 1/3 of the total head supplied. L1, L2, L2, L3, L1 is equivalent by will become to dash 1 by d power of 5, L1 by d1 power of 5, L2 by d2 power of 5 plus L3 by d2 power of 5. The time of flow from one tank in which water level is H1 to another tank having level H2 will be proportional to H1 3 by 2 minus H2 3 by 2. Maximum efficiency of transmission of power through a pipe is 66.6%. The hydraulic mean depth of circular time of flow from one tank which water level H1 to another tank have level H2 will be proportional to dash H1 3 by 2 minus H2 3 by 2. Maximum efficiency of transmission of power through a pipe is 66.6%. If the pressure at the inlet of the hydraulic mean depth for a circular pipe diameter D running fully is equal to D by 4. Hydraulic gradient is equal to head loss due to friction by total length of channel. The total frictional resistance of a fluid flow independent of pressure. The ratio of hydraulic radius of pipe running full water to hydraulic radius of square section the channel whose side is equal to diameter of the pipe is 3 by 4. The velocity of pressure wave due to pressure disturbance imposed in a fluid is equal to bulk modulus E by density. The velocity of fluid particles to the center of pipe section is dash maximum. Steady flow occurs when conditions do not change with time at any point. Uniform flow occurs when at every point velocity, critical magnitude and direction for any instant. Which of the following represents steady uniform flow? This is the flow through a long pipe at a constant rate. In the case of turbulent flow, shear stress more compared to the laminar flow. For a sponge to work satisfactorily, the minimum pressure the pipe compared to the vapor pressure of liquid should be more. Water hammer in a pipe occurs due to a sudden change in the velocity of any flowing fluid. If liquid in a pipe suddenly undergoes change in velocity delta V, rho density of liquid, and C the velocity pressure wave or speed sound in the liquid, the change in pressure experienced equals to rho C by delta V. Which of the following represents unsteady non-uniform flow through a expanding tube in an increasing rate? Critical depth of a channel is equal to V square by G. In short cylindrical external mouthpiece, the vena contra occurs place which distance is equal to dash 1/4 the diameter of the orifice from the outlet of orifice. Fire hose nozzle is generally made up of convergent shape. Chase's equation is used to determine velocity flow of open channel. Equation of continuity result from the principle of conservation of mass. Hydraulic grade line for any flow system compared to energy line is below. The cause of turbulence in a fluid flow may be high velocity gradient. The magnitude of water hammer. The Chase's equation is used to determine velocity of flow in open channel. Equation of continuity resulting from the principle of conservation of mass. The hydraulic grade for a flow system as compared to energy line below. The cause of turbulence fluid flow may be high velocity gradient. The magnitude of water hammer depends on all of the above. The magnitude of water hammer does not depend upon the temperature of fluid. Which of the following represent unsteady uniform flow through a long pipe at a decreasing rate? A weir in which the downstream water level of the weir nappy higher than the cast is called as the submerged weir. Discharge through a totally submerged orifice directly proportional to the square root of difference elevation of water surface. The upper surface, the weir over which water flows, is known as the sill. Which of the following represents steady non-uniform flow? This is the flow through an expanding tube at constant rate. Drag is defined as the force component extracted to the immersed object. The component acting in direction is the parallel to the flow direction. Pressure drag as per boundary layer theory is the function of the shape of body separation flow. Profile drag equal to pressure drag plus friction drag. Bluff body is the body such shape that pressure drag compared to the friction drag is more. A body is said to be provided optimum amount of streamlining when profile drag, sum of friction drag and pressure drag minimum. The flow of any fluid, real or ideal, must fulfill the following the continuity equation. Turbulent flow generally occurs for cases involving none of the above. In turbulent flow is the shear stress are generally larger than in similar laminar flow. In laminar flow is the Newton's law of viscosity applies. Continuity equation can take then the A1 B1 equal to A2 BT. The continuity equation is the relates mass rate flow along streamline. The continuity equation relates mass rate flow along streamline. The continuity equation in a fluid flow state that the net rate of the inflow to the small volume must be 0. The head loss in turbulent flow in a pipe is the variance approximately the square of velocity. The losses in open channel were as proportional to V square. The loss due to sudden expansion are expressed by V1 minus V2 square by 2G. The losses due to sudden contraction is expressed as the 0.5 V1 square by 2G. The velocity distribution for a flow between two fixed parallel plates varies parabolically across the section. Bernoulli's theorem is applicable for perfect incompressible nuisance. The shear stress is a fluid flowing a round pipe is zero. Its center varies linearly with radius. Which of these is the correct statement? Is the hydraulic gradient may be over below center line to conduct liquid jet from a nozzle exposed to atmosphere transfers along the parabolic path. In laminar flow through round tube, the discharge varies is inversely as the viscosity. If rho is density of fluid, then pressure of fluid due to water hammer is directly proportional to 1 by root P. The magnitude rise pressure hammer is a rigid non-elastic pipe carrying water density. Rho bulk modulus K will be equal to root of K by rho. Separation occurs when the boundary layer comes to rest. The value of coefficient of velocity compared to coefficient of discharge is more. The hydraulic radius is given by area divided by weight per meter. Pick up the correct statement. Nozzle has same accuracy as venturi. Pressure is lost more than the cost low. A rotameter used to measure flow. The most economical section of trapezoidal channel for maximum discharge obtained when dash all of the above. When venturimeter is inclined, then for given flow is the same reading. The vertical component force curved surface is the weight of the liquid above the curved surfaces. Two pipes are there. U pipes. This is the two pipes line difference ఇట్లున్నప్పుడు h1 s1 plus h2 s2 plus h3 s1. In a rough turbulent flow in a pipe, function factor would be depends upon pipe condition and pipe diameter. Diagram ఇలా ఉంటుంది. In turbo machinery relevant parameters are volume, flow rate, density, viscosity, bulk modulus. Turbo machinery bulk parameters are volume, flow rate, density, viscosity, bulk modulus, power, rotational speed, and directed dimension. According to the bulking diagram, the number of independent non-dimensional groups for this case of 6. Euler's number and the pressure force, Froude number, and the gravity force, Mach number, elastic force, and Weber number is the surface tension. If H is the total head of inlet and H1 head loss to friction, efficiency power transmitted through the straight line pipe is the H minus H1 by H2. A dimensional group formed with the variable rho and d. This is the rho W d square by sigma. G ఇప్పుడు ఈ విధంగా ఉంటే సెంటర్ ఆఫ్ గ్రావిటీ, మెటా సెంటర్, వెయిట్ ఆఫ్ ఫ్లోటింగ్ బాడీ, బయాన్సీ ఫోర్స్ ఉంటే ఫ్లోటింగ్ బాడీలో G is above M. G is above M is the unstable equilibrium. G and M coincide is the neutral equilibrium. G is below M is the stable equilibrium. FB greater than or equal to W is the floating body. For fully developed laminar flow through a pipe, the volumetric flow is given by pi by 8 pi r power 4 minus dv by dz. ఈ విధంగా ఉంటే root of 2gh s2 minus s1. The expression of p plus rho g z rho v square by 2 commonly used with the express Bernoulli's equation has units of total energy per unit volume. Ideal fluid is the fluid for zero viscosity, and Newtonian fluid is the viscosity does not change with respect to deformation. Newtonian fluid is the dynamic viscosity. Mu by P is the 3 dynamic viscosity, and mercury in a glass 6 is the capillary rise. Boundary layer thickness is the mu y equal delta, u equal 0.99, u will displacement thickness is the 0 to delta 1 minus u by u infinity dy. Moment of thickness is the u by u into 1 minus u by u delta y. Energy thickness is the u by u delta 1 minus u square by u square delta dy. For a solid sphere falling vertical downward, gravity viscous fluid in terminal velocity v1 varies diameter d. The sphere is v1 proportional d square for all diameters. In the region of the boundary layer nearest to the wall, where velocity not equal to 0, the viscous forces are less than initial force. Which one of the following statement is correct? Laminar flow is greater than the turbulent flow. Reynolds number is the flow velocity, pipe diameter, kinematic viscosity. Potential number is the heat capacity, dynamic viscosity, thermal conductivity. Nusselt number is the filling coefficient, pipe diameter, thermal conductivity. Match number is the flow velocity, acoustic velocity. A rectangular water tank full to brim has length divided by height in the ratio 2:1:2. The ratio of hydrostatic forces at the bottom to the larger vertical surfaces is just 1/2. Capillarity is the surface tension. Vapor pressure is the gravitation. Viscosity is the shear force. Specific gravity is the density of water. Compressibility force. Compressibility force is the 3, and the match number. Gravity force is the potential number. Surface tension force is the Weber number. Viscous force is the Reynolds number. Brake power is the hydraulic dynamometer. Engine speed is the electrical tachometer. Calorific value fuel is the bomb calorimeter. Exhaust emission is the flame ionization detector. A large metacentric height is a vessel, improves stability and makes the periodic time of oscillation shorter. For an irrotational flow, the velocity potential line and the streamline are always orthogonal to each other. First one is two. Anemometer is the two velocity, and physiometer is the static pressure, and a pitot tube is the difference between the static and statication pressure, and the orifice is the one. This is the flow rate. Flow separation is caused by negative pressure gradient. The normal stress in the same in all directions at a point in the fluid only when the fluid is friction and incompressible. A hot top water tank made of plates and full of brim, height twice of any side. The rotation of force bottom of the tank, that one way side will be 2, the 0, and this one is the center of pressure is the 3, point of application of hydrostatic force. Center of gravity is the 4, point of application of weight of the body. Center of buoyancy is the point of application of the weight of the displaced liquid. Metacenter is the 2, point about which the body starts oscillating when the tied to the small angle. A bucket water hangs with a spring balance. If any iron piece of suspended into water from another support without touching the side of bucket, the spring balance will show no change in reading. The velocity in a laminar flow becomes equal to the average velocity flowing radius from the center of pipe is the R1 by root 2. Below shows the pipes. The equivalent diameters in case of pipe descending order will be A greater than C greater than B. And A means is the square, తర్వాత rectangle, తర్వాత triangle. Any problems? In the description drop, they will imagine the major requirements of the minimum weight for a buoyancy and maximum strength of pressure. The ideal choice for the purpose would has following part of figure. This is the B. B is the intersecting spheres. This one is the shows relevant value absolute viscosity important liquids with temperature. The curves applicable for air, curved oil, water respectively are dash DABC. A channel, okay. In depth of flow over V notch is double, then the flow will increases 5.6 times. It will be there. Next, Itlichi, a trapezoidal open channel has a cross section as shown in the figure above. Order to have maximum hydraulic efficiency, hydraulic radius and R and the length of the side L should be D by 2 and 2 by root 3D respectively. Okay, thank you. FM completed.